All right, so continuing the conversation on my 14-point listing presentation, this is the same listing presentation that I use, the same strategy that I use to list 10 or more homes every month for more than 10 years. And on Friday, we talked about scheduling the appointment. We talked about the soft interview, getting on the listing channel, your Kodak moment, that's your first impression at the front door, touring the home and the strategy that you want to follow in touring their home, what to do, what not to do. All of this is on video and all of this is on my YouTube page if you missed Friday. And then we went into begin the conversation, and begin the conversation leads to meeting goals and exceeding expectations, which leads into a needs analysis, which is our deep dive today. All right, and since nobody has raised their hand, Sarah, do you mind being my role play partner?
I would love to be your role play partner.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so you're selling your house and I'm sitting at your kitchen table. And Sarah, I'd like to begin by sharing my mission statement with you. My mission is to meet your goals and exceed your expectations. And because of that mission, whenever I meet with a potential seller, homeowner who's thinking of selling their home, one of three things typically happens. One of those three things will happen today. Either number one, they'll understand and appreciate the benefits that I have to offer and they'll hire me, which is awesome. The second thing that occasionally happens is they may not hire me, and quite honestly, that's not so awesome. And then the third thing that happens once in a while is I may choose not to list their home. Now, Sarah, you may be wondering why I would choose not to take somebody's listing, and I believe you're really going to like the answer. See, the answer is if I feel that a potential client has a goal or an expectation that I cannot meet and exceed, I would rather turn the opportunity down today than let you down 6 months from now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. So in order for me to know if I can meet your goals and exceed your expectations, I need to ask you a couple of questions. Would that be okay?
Okay, that
Sure.
makes sense.
All right. So the first question is, what's one thing that needs to happen in the sale of your home that would cause you to consider the experience a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being awesome?
Listen, the first thing is that it needs to sell.
Why is that important to you?
Because I've already bought another home.
Mm.
We're going to be moving out of state and we have to be there by March 1st. And, we don't want to carry two mortgages, and we just want to be able to get the home sold.
Yeah, by the way, if you see me do this, guys, I'm taking notes, just like I would if I were sitting at the kitchen table. So I'm writing down everything Sarah says, and I'm writing it down in her words. Now, abbreviate, because there's no way you're going to be able to write down everything that somebody says. What I wrote down is bought another home, March 1st, out of state.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Sarah, if we can accomplish a second goal such that this would be a 10 plus experience, what's the next goal?
Like I said, we need to get the home sold quickly.
Quickly, okay. And what does quickly look like to you?
Well, quickly looks like to me that we could be at the closing table in the next 45 to 60 days.
Okay, so we're at the closing table 45 to 60 days from now. And what does that do for you?
Well, that takes a whole lot of stress off of me and my family because, we won't leave any loose ends here. There won't be any reason to, take the time and the inconvenience and spend the money to make trips back here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Got it. Okay. And if we can accomplish another goal so that this is a 10 plus experience, what's the next goal?
Well, the next one would be, let's get the best price we can.
Okay, cool. What does the best price we can get look like to you?
Well, here's the thing, John, we don't have a mortgage, so I want to net as much as possible.
Yeah. What's that goal look like?
You know what, John, I'm not really sure at this point. I hear so many different things about the market going up, down, sideways. And that's an area that we need a lot of guidance on. We're not going to be unrealistic. We want a professional, to guide us through it. If it makes sense, but it has to make sense.
Yeah, I get that. And we're going to go over a market analysis. We're going to look at comparable sales. I've spent a lot of time in preparing for today's appointment, and we're going to definitely dive into that information and determine the right strategy to get your home sold so that you're at the closing table 45 to 60 days from now, so that you can be at your new home by March. And I believe that you shared with me that your new home is in Atlanta. I'm off script for a moment. I made that up because what she said was out of state. But if I could go back and do that part again, I would have asked her, where are you moving to? Okay. It's just important because I want to be able to attach the conversation to Sarah's goals. Logic makes us think, emotion makes us act, and this is information that is going to enable you to help people make the right decision in order to achieve their goals. All right, back to script. So we're going to go through market analysis, blah, blah, blah. You heard that. The follow-up to that is, and Sarah, based on homes that have sold in your neighborhood in the last 3 months, where do you see your home selling?
I mean, I see us in the middle of the range. We're not going to be pretentious.
Okay. What does that look like?
Well, that looks in my neighborhood, based on what I know, that looks like about 475 to 490.
All right, 475 to 490. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. Off script for a moment. Guys, do you see how I could have dropped the questions and not got to 475 to 490 very easily? It's only because I hung in there and kept asking questions that Sarah was able to tell me 475 to 490. And does that help Sarah achieve her goals? Yes, it does. Okay. So Sarah, if your home sold for 475 to 490, you netted the most amount of money possible. What does that do for you?
Well, that helps our bank account look better again. We paid for our new home cash. And so we went through a significant amount of money in our retirement account. And I would like to, go ahead and get that built up again.
All right, Sarah, give me 1 second. Just writing this down. Okay. All right, so Sarah, we have 3 goals so far. Are these all of your goals, or are there any other goals that we need to achieve in order for you to feel the experience of selling your home is a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being awesome?
Listen, if we could you could get my home sold in the next 45 to 60 days within the price range, if the market bears it, I mean, you couldn't give me a better experience. Where were you 6 months ago is the only question I have.
Sure. Okay, cool. So then my next question, Sarah, is in prioritizing these goals and sell my home is a given. It's relevant throughout the entire conversation. So I'm going to leave that out of the conversation. I have 2 goals that I want you to prioritize. Between selling quickly, you're at the closing table in 45 to 60 days, or getting your price 475 to 490. If you could achieve one goal and maybe miss the other one by a little bit, what's number one?
And let's get it sold within the next 45 to 60 days.
And number two then would be 475 to 490.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Very good. Now, if we got your home sold in 45 to 60 days, we nailed that goal and we barely missed 475 to 490. That's a 10 for you. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, cool. All right, off script. I would love to stop for a moment and just first of all tell you, raise your hands if you have any questions, comments, ahas, raise your hand and we'll stop and talk about it. In the meantime, I'll keep talking. All right, remember whenever you go on a listing appointment, the seller is asking themselves 3 questions about you. The 3 questions they're asking are, can I trust you? Do you care about me? And do you know what you're doing? Your job in every step of the 14-point step listing presentation is to convey that I care about you. My job to convey that I care about you. You can trust me and I know what I'm doing. Now, in those 3 questions, what do you think is the most important question?
It depends on their answers.
Well, trust you, care about me, know what you're doing. What do you think is the most important to the homeowner? Before they even meet you,
Care about me.
care about me. Yeah, I would tell you it's definitely a tie. One may be higher than the other, but it's always, always, always going to be, do you care about me? Can I trust you? It's never going to be, do you know what you're doing first? Okay. Now that is a limited belief that you have about yourselves. And a lot of real estate agents do. And because they have that limited belief about themselves, what they tend to do is they sell and tell. Okay. Have you ever, oh, this is a horrible example, but whatever. Have you ever gone shopping for a new car? And you walk on the lot and a salesperson comes up to you and do you get the impression that they care about you, that you can trust them? And nothing against people who are selling cars. This is true with real estate agents, by the way. It's true with people who are working in the mall. It's true with anybody, anywhere. Most people sell and tell. They don't ask questions. And my entire conversation with Sarah was a combination of questions. And the reason I'm asking those questions is I want Sarah to understand that I care about her. I'm taking the time to find out what needs to happen in order for her to have a great experience selling her home. I'm taking the time to understand what her goals are, what her expectations are. And most salespeople don't even ask. They just start talking. The benefits of working with me are blank, 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 blank. Here's what my company has done. Blank, 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 blank. Here's what my resume looks like. Blank, 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 blank. And this person that you're talking to is just sitting there doing this, completely uninvolved in the conversation. They're just listening to you. Lead by asking questions. A great consultant asks questions that help your client make the right decisions in order to achieve their goals. Now, remember, logic makes us think, emotion makes us act. So as many times as I can, I'm going to keep repeating back to Sarah. So Sarah, and by the way, this is true when we have an offer on her home. This is true if it's not selling, we're not getting the activity that we need to get, and we need to have a price improvement conversation. Logic makes us think, emotion makes us act. So Sarah, if we got your home sold within 45 to 60 days, so that you could be at your new home in Atlanta within 60 days tops. And you were able to get as close to 475 to 490 as possible. What would that do for you? How would that make you feel? Logic makes
Well,
us think, emotion makes us act. How would that
I
make
would
you feel?
I would be forever grateful. That's
Mm.
number one. I would be
Mm.
forever grateful. And you would relieve so much stress from my life. You would be my new hero.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, let me show you how we use this in closing for the listing. The next step after a needs analysis and prioritizing the needs is satisfy those needs. In other words, share with them what you do in order to sell blank number of homes every month in less than 30 days on the market, in less than 60 days on the market, for an average of 98, 99% of the asking price. In other words, here's what you can expect when you hire me. This is what I'm going to do to sell your home so that you could be in Atlanta 60 days from now with your family and not still in this home, because you don't want to do that.
Okay.
After you go through satisfy your needs, we go through a comparable market analysis, which we're going to do tomorrow in PowerPoint. I'm going to show you how to add, subtract to comparable properties in order to come up with the right price for the subject property. And I'm going to show you how to find the right price range in order to get their home sold. Because remember, the purpose of a comparative market analysis is not to determine the price. It's to determine the right strategy to get Sarah's home sold in the next 45 to 60 days so she could be in Atlanta with her family within 60 days. Okay. After we go through a comparable market analysis, we do a supply and demand analysis and we close. In other words, Sarah, so at the beginning of our conversation, I asked you, or before we met, I asked you if I could show you that I was the right agent in order to meet your goals and exceed your expectations if you would hire me. Remember?
Yes, I remember.
Okay, cool. So based on that question and everything that I shared today, do you believe that I'm the right agent to get your home sold in less than 60 days so that you could be in Atlanta with your family 60 days from now, to have you at the closing table in less than 60 days, so that you could be in Atlanta with your family rather than still being in your home, so that you could reimburse the money back to your banking account that you used to buy your new home? And I was the right agent to get you as close to 475 to 490 as possible. Do you believe I'm the right agent for that job?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. You ready to get started?
Yes.
All right. All right. Questions, guys. There's one in the chat, so I'll go there first. Adrian, I think either one is okay. I think either one is okay. Adrian asked, is it better to say I will sell your home or refer to the process as I will help you sell your home? I think either one is okay. Yeah. Yep, you're welcome. All right, guys, I've got 8:52 and there are no hands in the air. I hope that you got great value today. I would encourage you to watch the video from Friday. Sandra raised her hand. There we go.
Sorry. What do you put in your value propositions? Or what do you put those in? Or are those what you put in for to solve their problems?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Value propositions happen during the satisfy their needs process of the 14-point listing appointment presentation. So we do a needs analysis, we prioritize their needs, and then the next step is satisfy their goals and expectations, or satisfy their needs. And in that process is when you're going to share your value proposition. In other words, Sandra, one of the things that I would share, and one of the things that I did share as a real estate agent, is one of the benefits of working with me is my listings are 100% satisfaction guaranteed. That means if you're not happy with any of the services that I'm providing, you can cancel the agreement at any time without fee and without stipulation. So it's 100% satisfaction guarantee. One of the other benefits of hiring me is you can continue to market your property as a buy owner if you want to. The only stipulation I have there is there can only be one sign in your yard. We can't have my sign and your sign. That will just confuse everybody. You can continue to market the property online. You can have your own open houses if you want to. And if you find a buyer that is not being represented by another agent, you could either pay me to represent you in the sale of your home and to negotiate on your behalf at a reduced fee, or you can cancel the agreement and sell it on your own. Other parts of your value proposition are, I'm going to make 40 calls minimum every day looking for a buyer for your home. As a matter of fact, I'm one of the very few real estate agents you're going to talk to who does that. And if you're wondering what that means, when I called you, I believe that your home was for sale by owner. And one of the questions that I asked you was, when your home sells, where are you moving to? Remember that? And I asked you, what are you looking for? In other words, describe your next home to me. Now, Sandra, what happens in that conversation moving forward after you hire me, and I'm continuing to make those calls, I speak to somebody and I ask them, describe your next home to me. And they just described your home. Did I find a buyer for your home?
Perfect. Very good.
Did that answer your question?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. All right, guys, so watch the video from Friday. This will be on YouTube before the day is over. Watch this. I would encourage you to do what Sarah does. I would encourage you to watch the video and write down what I say word for word. Every part of this presentation is a script. Now, did it sound like it was a script, or did it sound like it was a conversation? You don't have to answer. It's kind of a hypothetical question.
I'll answer
Hopefully-
it. Sounds like a conversation.
Yes. Yes. And Sarah, because you and I have been working together for a long time, because you teach what I teach, you know
Yep.
for a fact that every single word of that is a script.
Yep.
All of the
And-
embedded commands are in there on purpose. Even
Yes.
I smile at the same time, I laugh at the same time. It's the same hand gestures. It's you're a movie star and you're making a movie, guys.
Yeah, you're in a script, and you know, the agents, I used to go on listing appointments with new agents as I was coaching them, and the shocker was that I never pulled out a PowerPoint presentation because
There you
it
go.
is a conversation. If I need to pull something out, I have it on my laptop,
There you
but
go.
it's I'm not coming in there for 3 hours. It's, you know, once we tour the home, or sometimes the agent door knock toured the home and I'm just coming to close the deal for the listing presentation. And 30 minutes in, we're signing the listing agreement. And I just really feel that I need to say this, because so many agents are stuck on, I have to have this amazing PowerPoint presentation that razzles and dazzles. Otherwise, they're going to choose somebody else. And the truth is, you don't. Like, Douglas Elliman agents come in with all these beautiful brochures and stuff, and they still can't sell the house.
Yeah, those brochures don't matter.
No.
Do you care about me? Can I trust you? Do you know what you're doing? And by the way, do you have beautiful brochures? Okay, I hope you got the-
You know, everybody there, one of the slides in our listing presentation that's in Command, and the slides are great information, I think, for us. One of them shows that as of 2020, like 90% of the buyers were finding the homes online.
Mm,
So if buyers are finding your home online and looking at the pictures online, why would you need pretty brochures?
Yeah, it's a good question. Well done, Sarah. All right. If you got value today, if you learned something that is going to help you take more listings, if I can ask one favor, it would be share this Zoom link with someone you know that would benefit from being on this daily call. Okay, if you have questions or comments, if there's anything that I can do for you, I'm always just a phone call away, a text away, or an email away. My phone number is 727-686-0404. My email address is it's coachjohndietz@gmail.com. It's JOHNDIETZ, diet with a Z, coachjohndietz@gmail.com. And as always, make it a great day, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day,
We
everybody.
appreciate you.